Want to know how to make pumping easier than ever? Let's find out how. What's up guys? Welcome back to the Will's Right Here channel. Last time we did a hose upgrade on this IK Multi Pro and a lot of you guys loved it and so did I. But since then, I have cut down the 25-foot hose into just 12, I cut it in half, so about 12.5 feet. And I found this a lot more manageable. It's a little lighter and it still allows me to let the hose out and then extend it for a car's length if I wanted to do that. Or if I'm on a ladder and I'm spraying on the roof, I can just leave this on the ground and I'll still be able to reach and the hose will not be hitting against the car. So I love that upgrade, but since then I also have done a couple more things to it, such as adding a little swivel here. So when I extend the hose, it can untangle itself because of the swivel here. And of course, the biggest upgrade since then is this awesome little air compressor that I've attached to the side of the IK. And thanks to inspiration from Karzik Keev, I'll link his channel down below. He did this with the IK Foam Pro, and that gave me this idea to put it on the side of the IK. And also credit to Devin Kofer, who's the one that discovered that this little compressor has a feature to auto sense the pressure from the inside, and then will pump up to whatever pressure you set it to. So that means when I'm spraying out of this IK, it will just automatically sense the pressure level and pump it back up if I'm losing pressure. So that becomes a very handy feature that I'll never run out of pressure when I'm spraying. So that is a gigantic upgrade to me that I can have this attached to the side and just have it pump up anytime. And of course, IK has this OEM air compressor that you attach to the side, but that thing costs $150, whereas this is $55 on Amazon. So an easy mod that you can just add this to the side of your IK and turn this into a $250 IK sprayer. So today I'll show you guys how to do that. Let's get to it. So I'll show you guys the swivel part that I've done here, but if you're just here for the air compressor, I'll leave a timestamp down below so you can just skip to it. But if you're interested in the swivel here, what I essentially have is this swivel head. It looks a lot like the connector that came with this hose, but you can get them from Amazon. You can either get just the swivel or you can get it with a ball head. And the ball head, I didn't really like that much. Ugh, I can't open this. My fat fingers, I can't open it. So the ball swivel is just this connection right here, and it has a ball that you can turn it about 20 to 30 degree angle. It's not much. And I put it on, I didn't really like it. It just kind of droops down like this all the time. So it just kind of depends on your preference. This is about 10 bucks on Amazon. Again, link in the description. But I ended up going with just the cheaper swivel part, and that is this part right here. So anytime if I get like a little kink right here, I can just pull this and it will just resolve it, because this will automatically turn and swivel that kink out. So if it's kind of like this, just pull and it'll just get rid of that. So how you would put on this swivel head is just reversing the process of how I showed you guys how to put on the IK head here. So you just take that off and fit this back on. But the trick is, this thing comes with a 1/4 inch head, and that does not go on the IK wand. This one is actually at an M18 size. So I had to order this quick connect that's an M18 female that attaches to the wand. And that way, it becomes a standardized attachment right here, 1/4 inch quick connect. And on this end, it has a 1/4 inch male. So I have to get a 1/4 inch female to a 1/4 inch quick connect. So you just kind of screw it on, but make sure you put some Teflon tape in there to make sure it doesn't leak. So basically the process, again, reverse what I did last time. You pull this back and you want to take out this head. Just do it in an angle and don't let it fall through the table. And you can take out all of this. Just leave the bare hose. And if your hose has the original thread, like right here, then this might make it a little harder for you, because the next step is to thread in this piece. To thread it in, you have to go through all the coils like that. So this might be a little harder. So if you get a clean cut like this, you can thread it in a lot easier, just like that. Now after you have it threaded in, you would take this piece, unscrew this part, and thread this through as well. So make sure you have these two pieces thread it in the hose before you take the hose end and put it on, because you'll need this piece to screw on this piece. Let's push this in. Again, circular motion will make it a little easier. Right now it's 30 degrees out, so it's a little stiff, but just push it as far as you can. And if you do it indoors, it might be a lot easier. So once you have it pushed on like this, you can screw this on, grab a wrench on each end and really make this tight, just hand tight. And now you're left with this 1/4 inch. I ordered this on Amazon. This is a 1/4 inch thread to a 1/4 inch quick connect adapter. So right here is just bare metal. There's nothing in there. So what you need to do is you'll need to put on Teflon tape on here. So I don't have my Teflon tape right now, but I got this blue tape that I can simulate how it should work. So Teflon tape, you don't just wrap it on willy-nilly. You don't want to do too much, you don't want to do too little. So let's say this is the Teflon tape. In reality, it should be gray or white. So this piece will screw on to the right. So you twist to the right to tighten it. So you want your tape to be wrapped in a direction that goes with that twisting motion. So it turns that way. And that's why you want to wrap in the same direction. So if you look at the hose, it'll be a clockwise motion. So wrap it in a clockwise motion, cover all the threads, and as you wrap, you want to put a little tension to make sure that the Teflon tape is covering all the threads. And I just wrap all the threads about 2 to 3 rotations, then you should be good to thread on this piece. You want to grab a wrench here and here, so you can grip on both ends and then really screw it on. Make sure there's a tight connection, otherwise when you pressurize it, it will leak. So on the one end, this is an 18 thread. So what I did is I got this pack of quick connects. It comes in a 2 pair. So I just took a pair and only used the female end right here. And for this one, I didn't have to put on any Teflon tape or anything. You just simply screw it on. Once it's hand tight, it should be good. You should have a very easy connection like this. And if you have the ball joint, you'll have that motion as well, and the twisting motion from the swivel. So anytime I got a hose situation like this, I just pull and let it sort itself out. Because now that the swivel will allow the hose to turn endlessly, like that, or back. So it becomes a lot easier to manage. So on to the main subject. This air compressor is literally a lifesaver. So what you do is you press a button, you turn it on. Right now it's set to 52 PSI. I think I pressed it on accident. So I'm gonna turn it down to 50. And now I'm gonna hold this down and click this button, just like that. You get this icon right here. And when that icon is active, you can set your PSI. I'd set it to 45. And you hit the power button, it will start pumping, just like. So it's already at 45 PSI. Now I do have a little over 2 gallons of water in here, so it's pumping a little quicker. But usually if you have it half full, it will take a little longer for it to pump all the way up. But now I get fully pressurized water. And you can see the PSI drop. If it drops 5 PSI below what it should be right now, it should start pumping. So I moved in here because it's just a little too cold outside right now. It's below freezing now, so much warmer here. It's the Xiaomi Air Compressor 2. So this is a newer version. Make sure you want to get the 2 because the last version is going to be slower than this one. So they did make some improvement. Yes, the brand name is pronounced Xiaomi, and you would not know that by looking at how it's spelled. And yes, I'm talking to you, Keith.
Xiaomi, something.
So of course, inside the box, you'll get this air compressor out of it. And it does have a hose attached to it. Detach one side, it'll turn on automatically. And you can't really, I don't know how to take off this end. I don't think you can. So to turn it off, you just do that, or you can hold the button down to turn it off. You'll get the main unit, and you'll also get attachments like this that you obviously use with the IK. And there's another attachment right here. I don't really know what this is. It's the regular one versus this different one that I don't really know what this does. But anyway, you also get the attachment that lets you pump up balls or other things that calls for this. So it comes with different attachments that you can use this for several things. And this thing is for sure very good quality. And of course, Xiaomi, it's the Apple of China. The name literally means little rice in Chinese. So normally I wouldn't get anything from Xiaomi, especially their connected devices, because I don't want to be spied on. But this is just an air compressor, so I'll let this one slide. So how I attach this thing on the IK, this thing is about a pound, not too heavy, but also not too light. I use this magical little thing from 3M called the Dual Lock. So thanks to Key with inspiration. But this thing is kind of like a Velcro, but on steroids. So this is a lot stronger. You put a strip on each side. All you need to do is just line it up like this, and you want to click it on. Just like that. I click the top and bottom down. Because this thing is solid. I can grab this thing and move the whole keg. I don't think I can pick up the whole keg because it's got more than 2 gallons of water. I don't have that strength. It is not like Velcro that there will still be a little wiggle room. This is rock solid, so I can shake this however much I want. This will not fall off. Now, there is a caveat with this Dual Lock, is that it has different sizes. So you can't just get any Dual Lock on Amazon and get this strong of a adhesion. So the one I got is this 1 inch by 10 foot strip. Now this is on Amazon for 20 bucks. It's a little pricey, but you also won't find anything as strong as this. So Dual Lock comes in many different sizes. Now there are 3 main sizes, that is the 170 and 250 and 400. Now the number refers to how many of these mushroom heads are on a 1 inch by 1 inch area on the strip. So it tells you the density of these mushroom heads. Now there's a chart on 3M that I'll put on here that tells you which size you can use of which size. So you definitely do not want to use a 400 and 400 mashed together because that gives you the weakest bond. Now the 250 is the one I recommend here. The model number is the SJ3550. You want to get the 250 because it's the most versatile one. The 250 can bond to itself like that, and it gives you a very strong adhesion. And you definitely don't want to get these 1 inch by 2 inch pieces. They actually incorrectly label themselves as 3550s on Amazon, but in fact they are actually 3551. So this is the type 400 ones. These are not designed to mesh with each other, so it will not give you a strong bond, especially for something that's a little heavier like this. This is not recommended.
It is not going anywhere. Oh.
So I have a little bit of research on these 3M Dual Locks because I've been using these for years in my performing days on these pedal board. And every pedal you see on here is attached through these 3M Dual Locks. And these are literally things that we step on with our feet. And all you need to do to put it on is just click it in like that, and it becomes rock solid. And these are actually more expensive for the amount of strips you get, so it's just not worth it. So I highly recommend getting a roll like this. This is 10 feet, you can also get it in 4 feet, but the 10 feet is gonna be the best bang for your buck. So I know on the 3M chart, it says using a 400 strip on a 250 strip, it will be the strongest connection. Honestly, I'm gonna tell you, that's going to be too strong, because I tried it, I put 400 on here, and I put 250 here. I clicked it on, and I could not pull it off. The tape will come off the IK before the plastic parts, the mushrooms, detach. So that wasn't fun. So I highly recommend just using 250 to 250, and that way you also need to only get one type. So here's how it works. I have the same strip attached on either side. You make sure you roll it on and let it stay for a few hours at least, so it gets a good bond to the surface. Then all you need to do is just line it up like this, and this thing clicks on. So I'll push on top, bottom. That is stuck on there and will not come off. And all you need to do is just put this on, lock it in. Now this is attached, and all I need to do is just hold this power button, turn it on, and I can start pumping. And this is on Amazon for $55 right now. So I have the link in the description. And honestly, for the build quality and the features you get, I think that's a pretty good price. So right now I have the IK pumped to 50 PSI. So I'm just going to hold down the trigger and spray on this panel. And you can watch how this PSI drops and it automatically comes on. So as you can see, when it drops 5 PSI below what it's supposed to be, it will automatically pump back up to where you set it to, which is 50 PSI. And I would also say, in my opinion, that pumped pretty quickly. So right now, let's see if it gets under 45 PSI and I keep spraying, I don't stop. Will it pump back up to 50 PSI? So as you can see, the whole time I was spraying, this thing pumps faster than I can let out pressure, which is very impressive. You'll never run out of pressure this way. So I can just keep spraying. This thing will just keep my pressure up forever, as long as it's charged, of course. This thing is efficient enough that it can pump this whole IK a couple times without running out of battery. So this thing is definitely very impressive. Let's see that again. Now it's hit 45, it's gonna start pumping. And there, it hits 50 and stops. So honestly, I'm very impressed by this. It makes this whole thing worth the $250 IK eFoam Pro. So as you guys can see, this little thing is no joke. It can pump up this whole IK and have it be a completely automatic machine. You'll never have to touch this handlebar again. You don't have to hand pump it anymore because this will just take care of it for you. And just make sure you do not want to get this wet because it is still electronics. It doesn't have a cover over it. So just be careful of that. That is only one downside. It's just, you don't want to put too much water on this. So when you spray, get a little further away. Get yourself an upgraded hose a little longer so you can be a little further away from this thing. And with how easy this thing is to use, when I'm done, I can just turn it off by holding down the power button and then take it off, just like that. And with a dual lock, make sure when you take it off, do it at an angle. So I'm gonna turn an angle like this to take it off. You don't ever wanna pull it because you will not be able to take this off by pulling. You will not take it off. You have to do it in an angle. This is how the mushrooms are designed. And you can charge with a USB-C port down here. It has a little butt plug and it'll reveal the plug. And this thing from dead to full will take about 3 hours to charge. And with how fast it can pump and how portable this thing is, I think that's pretty good. And it doesn't lose charge very easily as well. So truly, I'm very impressed by this thing, even though it's Chinese Xiaomi. But it certainly upgrades my IK to a very convenient machine. And all you need to do is just attach it to the side of this thing, just like that. So very impressed. And if you guys are as impressed as I am with this thing, I'll have it linked down in the description, and I encourage you guys to make this upgrade because, man, it makes this thing so much more convenient. So thank you guys so much for watching and taking the time to watch my videos. I really appreciate that. And if you have any questions or concerns, leave them down in the comments below and I'll make sure to get to all of them. And if you haven't checked out my last mod with this IK sprayer, this is the Flexilla hose upgrade, I'll leave that in the description below. So with all those upgrades, I think this is definitely the most convenient tool I have in my detailing arsenal. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.